Let's take a further look into this disturbing issue. We have joining us from our Abuja studios live, the Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Mrs. Julie Oka-Donley. You're welcome to the program. You're welcome to the news at 10. It does seem like it took the media reports on the Libya slave trade and the outrage trailing it for the federal government to announce decisive action, as we've heard the president today, on this illegal migration issue. What do you say about that?
Well, the sale of human beings in Libya market has really caused a great deal for concern in the Nigerian government and in the world generally. And the federal government has resolved to do something, to take drastic measures to repatriate as many Nigerians that are willing to come back, not just from Libya, but from all over the world.
And what steps are to be taken to give effect to the decision announced by the president in Côte d'Ivoire today on this matter?
Yeah, we also had a meeting with some agencies, some relevant federal government agencies, had a meeting with the vice president today, and he practically said the same thing the president said in Côte d'Ivoire, that as many as those who are stranded in various parts of the world will be repatriated back to Nigeria.
Now, regarding the 26 Africans recently buried in Italy following their death at sea, can you confirm now how many of them were Nigerians? Well,
right now as we speak, the Italian government has positively identified just 2. They are unable to identify the rest of the 2024, and so they say. And they were able to identify 2 because relatives of the 2 positively identified them as Nigerians. But because most of them did not have their travel documents on them, they are unable to conclusively identify the 24 as at today.
Now, this is a perennial problem. I mean, we've had hundreds of Nigerians trying to cross the Mediterranean, making that dangerous journey via the Sahara Desert all the way to Libya and sometimes Morocco. Whose fault is it that people are not heeding, warnings about staying back in Nigeria and about how dangerous these journeys are? Either you're going through the Sahara or you're trying to cross the Mediterranean.
The truth is that the major factor responsible for this is ignorance. Most of these people that try to cross are usually recruited from the rural communities where they have little or no access to the internet. So they are unable to see all of these graphics that we are privy to seeing, that we have the opportunity to see here. And so the greedy criminal network gangs take advantage of the fact that these are illiterates that are mainly not schooled, and these are people who are largely ignorant, and uneducated. So they take advantage of that to a very large extent.
And what's your organization, what's your agency doing about this? Because I know NAPTIP works at the grassroots. So you're meeting with these people face to face. What do you tell them?
Well, we counsel them and tell them that there's really nothing to look out for outside of Nigeria. And the truth is, NAPTIP has embarked on a massive awareness campaign. We've been to we are going to all the communities and engaging with the community leaders from state to state, all 36 states and the FCT. That's our target, and we've already started, and we're making progress. And we're coming up with all sorts of strategies, to create awareness. Trying to do some documentaries that will actually take to the communities, not just for the youths, but also for the parents who are really ignorant of what is going on and what is happening to their children.
But are you seeing the impact of some of this work that you're doing? Because it's becoming more obvious that people are ignoring the dangers of traveling. I mean, what they see is people coming back and, they're coming back well-dressed, well-fed, and all that, despite the horrors of being in a Libyan detention camp. Are you seeing the impact of the work you're doing in the rural areas?
Yes, I would say I can see the impact that we're doing in some of the communities we've visited, because when we started this awareness campaign, we started getting a lot of phone calls of people, you know, who were confronted by these traffickers to travel, and, you know, they got suspicious and called NAPTIP. I mean, we've been able to get some calls lately, so at least it shows that people are beginning to understand what is going on.
And I don't want to believe that NAPTIP is working alone. You must be liaising, of course, with all the other countries that these people are going to. Take, for instance, Italy, where most of these migrants were headed towards. Talk to us about the where we are at in the discussions between Nigeria and Italian authorities concerning the status of people who are trying to get to Europe and who are being caught at sea.
Well, we're working with the Italian authorities. We work with, I mean, almost all the destination countries where Nigerians usually go to. But the truth is that we've been asking for more information from them, information sharing, I mean, which has to be really as transparent as possible. I mean, because the truth is we work on what we hear and what we know. And so NAPTIP has been trying to propose, you know, joint investigations, joint information, mutual legal assistance, you know, and things like that, you know. And of course, the most important thing is the information. You know, they need to share more information with us, and that has always been our point.
Mrs. Julie Oka Donley, thank you for joining us on the News at 10.